All right.
Do you want me to go right down the list here, or how do you prefer to do it?
I have briefly looked at the questions, but I will ask you them. So if I can have that.
You may.
Could you please state your name and title?
Yes. It's Walter Heinrich, Heinrich. I am the Northern District Major, Department of Environmental Conservation Police.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
All right. What is your educational background?
I am a SUNY graduate from State University in New York at Morrisville, 2-year degree, with additional 2 years at the University of Wyoming, Laramie, Wyoming, in natural resources.
Very impressive. When did you first become into the agency?
I came to the Conservation Department from the Delaware County Sheriff's Department, and I came over from the Sheriff's Department in 1981.
I wasn't even born.
I started in the Sheriff's Department in 1973 as a road deputy, and I was a road deputy from 73 to 81, and then came over to ENCON Police in
What?
81.
I have 3 questions I'm allowed to ask you. I'm going to use one of them right now. What inspired you to come to the DEC?
In 1958, I was 4-H, and I was raising pheasants. And a part of the 4-H raising process was that you had to release your pheasants, and a conservation officer is the person that came over to pick up the pheasants from me. So when he came over, we talked about the job, and he had his patrol car and pulled up in his patrol car. And I'd always enjoyed hunting and fishing. So I asked him about it, and it was in the late 50s that I decided I wanted to be a conservation officer when I grew up.
Nice.
So I planned my goals for that. I took my high school education Regents exams so that I would be able to go to college. I went to college as natural resources in New York and then wildlife management in Wyoming.
Now, the DEC is very extensive in New York, is it not?
It is. It covers all natural resources. So it covers basically anything that's on the land, air, or water.
Nice.
It covers whatever regulations are for that. So it covers not only the natural resources, but man-made resources and discharges of waste and supervision of air quality and everything else.
All right. I'm going to ask you my 3rd question because it came to
Well,
mind.
you're burning them up quick. What do you
Yeah.
if you have your 4th one?
I'll ask you my 4th one
Okay.
then. Now, you're currently the major of Region 6, right?
I am the majors of Regions 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
That's the Northern District.
All right. Sorry. We'll just say the Northern District.
Okay.
What does that cover? What's the landmass on that?
Landmass covers basically from the southern part being Oneida, Herkimer County. It goes up through Lewis County, Jefferson County, St. Lawrence County. So it covers everything from the thruway north all the way to the Canadian border.
Wow. So pretty much.
And then my other districts basically cover from Delaware County, everything north to Canada. So everything on both sides of the Hudson River.
Very extensive.
So if you look at a map of the state, which we don't have here, it would cover central New York north.
It's a lot.
East of
land.
Syracuse, west of the Vermont border.
A lot of responsibility, huh?
I have 3 district captains. My captains run their regions, so regions 4, 5, and 6 each have a captain that's assigned to it. And then there's several lieutenants that supervise the field officers. But I supervise all the patrol activities in those 3 regions.
Nice. All right, we're going to continue on our list. How did you acquire this position?
New York State Environmental Conservation Police are New York State Civil Service. So you had, when I took the exam, you needed a minimum of a 2-year college degree or 2 years law enforcement experience. I had both, so I was eligible to take the exam. Then I took a civil service exam. Then it's competitive civil service, and it still exists today that all our positions are competitive civil service. So it would be through New York State Department of Civil Service for exams and testing.
Nice. Question 5 is, can you describe your current professional responsibilities? I think you covered that.
Professional responsibilities, I'm responsible not only for the patrol activities, but all the administrative work that comes out of the 3 districts. Any significant incident reports I have to compile and send to central office executive for review. Any spill reports, any spill responses, I have to tabulate that information. Any hunter-related shootings, and Anything basically, if there's details or scheduled assignments, like each district, it's Earth Day coming up, so we have Earth Day events. I coordinate the interactions for that. I coordinate our assignment of our patrol vessels, where we put our patrol boats out on which bodies of water and when we're working our shifts. And I oversee, through the captains and lieutenants, the deployment of my staff from there. I have approximately 100 uniform officers and probably 20 supervisors that work under me, and I supervise their activities.
Nice. Thank you. What is one thing that you think your office or agency does particularly well?
Enforcement of the environmental conservation law, with including outreach. We attend hunter safety programs, so our officers, being uniformed officers and marked patrol cars, that are always visible to the public. So I think the perception of outreach, where we're officers, we attend county fairs, any events like that, any sporting events, our officers are there. So it's the officers out there dealing with the public. We're a local based, the officers have to live within their patrol sector, so that we're an outreach 24/7. All our officers are issued laptop, notebooks, cell phones, so that they're available to the public. So I think probably the best thing we do is response for calls for service from the public. We maintain a 24/7 dispatch system, so we have a toll-free 800 number, so at any time, day or night,
Someone can reach
public can contact one of my officers
Nice. It's
or
gotta
a
be-
supervisor. If there's
Someone.
no officers working, there's 24/7 coverage statewide.
How expensive does that get?
It gets expensive. Uh, Salaries are included, overtimes are budgeted. Obviously, the state has constraints for management of our money, so we put shifts out. We have different schedules where we have officers assigned to different hours. And then after hours, usually covered by a supervisor, who are not overtime eligible. So when I'm on duty, majors get a week of assignment, so you have to be available 24/7 for a week at a time. And that's part of our salary. It's included in our salary, so there's no additional expenses other than what we're based on salary.
Nice. Thank you for that. What is one of the interesting aspects of working for the government that most people are not aware of?
That's probably the most difficult question you've asked so far. Just pride in your accomplishments.
Okay.
They see a police officer, they think, your job is out there to write tickets, but we do a lot of other things, and that, especially for conservation officers, where you can actually see a resource and protect a resource. So it's just things that aren't aware of the public. They think you're just out doing your job, but there are many benefits from that, where you can get some pride and accomplishment. You can actually see your work product. It's not measured. We don't measure. We don't have any ticket quota. We don't have anything like that. So the officers are just expected to be out there, handle calls for service to the public. So that's the biggest thing that we have that the public doesn't realize, that we do get job satisfaction from doing a job. We get somebody for illegally taking wildlife or over the limit of fish. They just see it as a ticket, but in reality, it's protecting the resource so that there are resources available for other people. And sometimes that's overlooked. They just say, "Oh, you're just out here, harassing us," or whatever the case may be. But you're protecting a finite resource, because at some point there may not be that resource. You look at all the things through the ages and even the last few hundred years in the history of our country that are no longer here in New York. We used to have an elk population. We don't have elk. We're starting to build our moose populations now, and that's from vigorous enforcement and protection of the resource. So that would be probably the biggest thing that the public doesn't see, that we are protecting their resources.
Thank you for that. What are a few important things that you've learned on the job?
Interaction with the public, public perception. As a uniform officer, you're in the spotlight anytime. Sitting in a restaurant, you still have the expectation that you're a public servant and that you're there. So it's your demeanor as you present yourself to the public is one of the things we try to instill in all our officers, because you're always being watched by somebody.
Thank you for that. And that is very true.
Even more so now. Just
Mhm.
watch TV every night and see what's happening on TV.
It is.
And every time you have interaction with the public now, you can plan on either being taped, the videotape, the cell phone coverage. Everybody has everybody has a camera now.
Yes. Technology has
It
changed.
has changed, and it's changed our, like I say, with our officers texting back and forth now complaints. We digital complaint system so that they come right out on your BlackBerry complaint. So you don't have to have the radio connectivity. You can actually go through wireless systems.
Nice. Is there anything else you'd like to mention that I did not ask you?
I'm available for anything you think you want, Christopher. If you think there's something you haven't covered, I've been doing this a lot of years. Obviously, I've got over 40 years of law enforcement experience now. My career is winding down. There is a finite end with the light getting brighter at the end. But I can't think of very many bad days that I've had on this job. It's been good to me, the family. I've taken pride in what I've done. I think I've accomplished a lot. I've made my way up through the ranks to the top, and I'm just proud of my accomplishments and everything that I've done.
Thank you.
I think I've done probably some service to the state during my 40 years.
I think you've done a great service to the state.
That'll be determined in my eulogy at some time. Of course, then they have to say nice things about you. So.
Yeah. All right. I think that covers it.
Good. Pretty sharp outfit there, young
Thank
man.
you.
Pretty sharp.
Thank you.
Your mom dress you? Did you do that all
I
by
did
yourself?
it all by myself.
Outstanding.
I know.
So, what are your career goals now that we're talking about you?
All right, we can talk about me. I currently have a 2-year degree in computer forensics.
Okay.
I am now working on my bachelor's in cybersecurity. I have 4 weeks left.
Big money boy.
Hopefully. So, I'm currently focusing on trying to...
Now, you're looking for governmental employment, or are you looking for private industry making the big bucks and headhunters?
Well, the money's definitely in the private company, in the private business sector, but I wouldn't mind working for the government as well.
That's great. Big advantage of the government is that there's usually some type of retirement system that goes along with it, rather than 5-10 years with a company with matching funds or 401ks or whatever it is for future. And I know I never thought about that when I was younger, but I tell all my kids now that that is an important part of your job selection. That the future.
Exactly.
You can't work till you die unless you have to.
I don't know, I might be that person.
Yeah.
I love
Probably
working.
in reality, I could have retired 10 years ago, but I haven't yet because I still enjoy it.
Nice.
But,
When do
it's
you
fun.
plan on retiring?
Next year.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm looking at next year. It could be at any time. We max out at 32 years, and I've got 40 plus years, so I can retire at any time I want.
you love your job.
I do enjoy it. I get to interact with the officers. I get to see what's going on. I get to move around the state a lot, and I enjoy that. But I'm starting to see the light, and there's other things I want to do. I enjoy traveling, and I like getting out.
Where would you like to go?
I don't know where I'm going this year. I just got back last year. I spent 10 days in Europe by myself. Not by myself, a couple guys. We went out and we were in Germany, France, Belgium, Brussels, Amsterdam,
Nice.
over there. So we did that. And then I've been to Europe several times. But there's a lot of the United States I haven't seen. I just figured the other day, I think there's 13 states I haven't been in. So
Nice.
I figure before my bucket list ends that I want to hit all of them. So I've got to do Italy and Ireland again. When I do retire, I want to do a little bit of genealogy